Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into an exciting and important topic: the rewilding of Asian elephants in Central Asia, West Asia and the Caucasus. Asian elephants, once native to many regions, have gradually disappeared from these areas due to habitat loss, poaching and environmental changes. But now, thanks to efforts in conservation and ecological restoration, we're exploring the idea of bringing them back. Rewilding these majestic creatures to restore balance to ecosystems, provide new hope for biodiversity and reconnect landscapes. In this video, we'll look at the history, the reasons for rewilding, and the potential impacts of introducing Asian elephants back into these areas. From the lush valleys of the Caucasus to the vast steppes of Central Asia, these landscapes are ready to welcome back one of Earth's most iconic species. So why are these regions important? And how will rewilding Asian elephants help create a more balanced, thriving environment for both wildlife and humans? Let's find out. The history of Asian elephants in Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus is fascinating, as these areas once saw populations of these majestic creatures, but they eventually became extinct in those regions. Asian elephants, Elephas maximus, originally had a much broader distribution across Asia. They roamed from the Indian subcontinent to Southeast Asia, extending into parts of Central Asia, the Middle East, and even the Caucasus. Fossil records and historical accounts suggest that they were present in areas like Iran, Turkey, Israel, and possibly as far as the Caucasus, but their numbers in these regions began to decline significantly over time. During the Holocene period, approximately 12,000 years ago to the present, climate changes, especially after the last ice age, led to shifts in vegetation and ecosystems. These changes would have reduced the availability of suitable habitats for elephants, as they are large animals requiring vast tracts of forest and grassland for food. The aridification of Central Asia and parts of West Asia made these regions less hospitable for elephants, contributing to their decline. The rise of human civilizations in these regions had a profound impact on wildlife. Overhunting, habitat destruction due to agricultural expansion, and the domestication of animals, including elephants for labor, contributed significantly to the decline of elephant populations. In particular, elephants were likely hunted for their ivory, and their habitats were cleared for agriculture and settlement. As humans expanded, the once continuous range of Asian elephants became fragmented into smaller, isolated populations. These smaller populations would have faced difficulties in maintaining genetic diversity, which further weakened their ability to survive. As humans domesticated other large animals like horses and camels, elephants may have faced increased competition for resources. Additionally, the spread of agricultural practices would have led to conflicts between elephants and human settlements, with elephants often being seen as pests or threats to crops. There are ancient accounts of elephants in areas like Mesopotamia, Persia, and the Caucasus. For instance, elephants were used in battle by various ancient empires, such as the Persian Empire. However, by the time of the Roman Empire and later periods, the presence of elephants in these regions had become less common, and they were mostly confined to more tropical and subtropical areas in South and Southeast Asia. The last known population of elephants in the region may have disappeared in the first few centuries AD. The Caucasus in particular became a region where elephants were either extirpated or driven out by the encroachment of human civilizations. Today, Asian elephants are confined primarily to the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia, where they still face threats but have a much more stable population compared to the extinct populations in the West and Central Asia.
Reintroducing Asian elephants to Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus could have profound ecological, cultural, and economic benefits. Asian elephants are considered keystone species, meaning they play a crucial role in maintaining the health and balance of ecosystems. They shape their environment by feeding on a variety of plants, which helps prevent overgrowth of certain species and encourages biodiversity. By reintroducing elephants, their grazing and movement patterns could help restore and maintain the grasslands, forests, and other habitats that were once their domain. Elephants are important seed dispersers. They eat fruits and other plant material and then deposit the seeds in different locations, often after traveling long distances. This promotes forest regeneration and biodiversity, helping to restore degraded landscapes and prevent desertification in areas like Central Asia. Elephants are known to dig water holes and create paths through the terrain, which can help water retention and assist other species in accessing water during dry periods. This could be especially beneficial in arid regions like Central Asia, where water resources are often scarce. In some regions, such as Iran and parts of the Caucasus, elephants once had cultural and symbolic importance. For example, elephants were used in ancient warfare, royal processions, and religious ceremonies. Reintroducing them could reconnect these regions with their historical and cultural heritage, providing a sense of pride and identity linked to the natural world. Reintroducing elephants could also provide an opportunity for ecotourism, attracting tourists and researchers to these areas. This would not only help in the economic development of the regions, but also raise awareness about the importance of biodiversity and conservation. In the long term, this could promote sustainable tourism that benefits local communities and economies while fostering a deeper connection to nature. Central Asia, which has been facing desertification due to overgrazing, agricultural expansion, and climate change, could benefit from the rewilding of Asian elephants. By restoring natural processes and promoting biodiversity, elephants could help counter desertification and create healthier, more resilient ecosystems in this arid region. Large herbivores like elephants play an essential role in shaping their ecosystems to adapt to environmental changes. Their movement patterns can help restore carbon sequestration and improve soil health, which is important in mitigating the impacts of climate change. Rewilding elephants could contribute to a broader strategy of ecosystem-based climate adaptation in these vulnerable areas. Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus form an important ecological corridor that connects Asia with Europe and the Middle East. Reintroducing elephants to these areas could help restore ecological connectivity across these regions, allowing for the movement of other species and the restoration of natural processes. This would also support a broader strategy for species conservation in these regions, as it would encourage the creation of protected areas and wildlife corridors. Central Asia and the Caucasus are home to many species that have evolved in the presence of large herbivores like elephants. The reintroduction of elephants could help restore these ecosystems and provide a supportive environment for a variety of plants, insects, and smaller animals that depend on the complex interactions created by large herbivores. Asian elephants are classified as endangered, with only around 50,000 left in the wild. Rewilding elephants in areas where they once lived could help increase their populations and provide new, safe habitats. This would contribute to the long-term survival of the species and prevent further fragmentation of their remaining habitats in Southeast Asia and India. Reintroducing elephants to regions that once had them could help local communities learn to live alongside them once again. Through community-based conservation initiatives, it's possible to build systems that protect both the elephants and the livelihoods of local people. This could involve developing methods of protecting crops, improving wildlife monitoring, and promoting elephant-friendly practices. In the past, elephants likely had important roles in shaping the landscapes of Central Asia, the Caucasus, and parts of West Asia. Their absence has altered ecological dynamics. By reintroducing elephants, it may be possible to restore some of these ancient roles, improving the overall ecological balance in the regions and ensuring healthier and more biodiverse landscapes. The concept of Pleistocene Park, a project in Siberia aiming to restore Ice Age ecosystems by reintroducing species like mammoths and potentially elephants, has sparked global interest. Rewilding elephants in these regions could be part of a broader ecological restoration effort that aligns with the vision of reviving ancient ecosystems and rebalancing the environment. Challenges and solutions for reintroducing elephants. Potential rewilding sites should have sufficient food, water, and low human disturbance. Suitable regions might include the Caspian forests in northern Iran and Azerbaijan, the Caucasus Mountains, where temperate forests and grasslands could support small populations, Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan, where elephants could restore steppe and woodland ecosystems. Asian elephants need vast territories, and conflicts with farmers are a major issue in modern elephant conservation. Solutions include creating protected wildlife corridors to minimize human-elephant interaction, using early warning systems and elephant-friendly fencing to prevent crop damage, educating local communities about the benefits of elephants to increase public support. International cooperation would be needed, particularly between Iran, Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Central Asian countries. Initial rewilding projects could focus on national parks and reserves, where elephant populations could be monitored and gradually expanded. Reintroduced elephants would need to come from genetically diverse populations in India or Thailand to ensure a healthy population. A vision for the future. Rewilding Asian elephants in Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus is an ambitious but potentially transformative project. These regions once supported elephants, and bringing them back could restore ecosystems, combat desertification, and boost local economies through ecotourism. With careful planning, habitat restoration, and cooperation between conservationists and local governments, elephants could once again roam these ancient landscapes, bringing balance to the environment and reconnecting people to their natural heritage.
Rewilding Asian elephants in Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus would require careful selection of locations that can support elephant populations while also benefiting ecosystems. Central Asia. Central Asia is a vast, diverse region with large grasslands, semi-arid zones, and mountainous terrains. The challenge lies in finding areas that can support large herbivores like elephants while mitigating conflicts with human activities. Ili-Balkhash Basin is a region that, known for its vast steppes and proximity to the Ili River, offers an ideal habitat for herbivores. The landscape features a mix of grasslands, wetlands, and forested areas, which would be suitable for Asian elephants. The area is already known for its biodiversity, including gazelles and other large mammals. This area could be a potential location for rewilding, with proper habitat restoration and management to ensure elephants' safety and survival. Uzbekistan, the Kizilkum Desert. Although primarily a desert, parts of Uzbekistan's Kizilkum Desert and the surrounding arid regions could support rewilding efforts if connected to larger ecological corridors. This area has been identified for restoration and rewilding projects due to its former richness in biodiversity. The reintroduction of elephants in the wetter parts could contribute to restoring the area's ecological balance. The Tian Shan mountain range, which stretches through Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, offers forests, meadows, and grasslands suitable for elephants. The region is known for its rich flora and fauna and could be a good candidate for reintroducing Asian elephants, particularly in the lower elevations that have more vegetation. The area would need proper planning to reduce human-wildlife conflicts and ensure that elephants have enough resources for long-term survival. The Issyk-Kul Basin in Kyrgyzstan is known for its large freshwater lake and surrounding alpine meadows, forests, and steppes. The area's rich biodiversity, including wild horses, could be complemented by the reintroduction of Asian elephants. The fertile landscapes and seasonal access to water resources make it a promising candidate for rewilding. Restoration efforts could enhance the region's role as a biodiversity hotspot. Koytundag Mountains, located in southeastern Turkmenistan, the Koytundag Mountains are home to rich steppe ecosystems and forests, which could support a reintroduced population of Asian elephants. This region has a favorable climate, with enough moisture and vegetation to sustain large herbivores like elephants. Ecological corridors between the Koytundag Mountains and other parts of Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan could be developed to help elephants roam freely. West Asia, which includes parts of the Middle East, is largely arid and semi-arid, but contains some key areas with potential for rewilding Asian elephants. The northern region of Iran, near the Caspian Sea, has temperate climates and a mix of forested, wetland, and grassland ecosystems. This area historically supported elephants and could be a good candidate for rewilding projects. The forests of the Caspian region, along with river valleys, provide ample food and water sources for elephants. Restoration of degraded habitats, alongside building wildlife corridors to connect them with protected areas, could make this region a viable site for reintroducing elephants. The Taurus Mountains in southern Turkey could also serve as a potential rewilding site. The region has a mix of Mediterranean forests, grasslands, and mountain ecosystems that could support Asian elephants. The historical presence of elephants in Turkey, along with the cultural and ecological significance of the Taurus Mountains, could make this an attractive area for rewilding initiatives. Southeastern Anatolia in Turkey, part of the GAP region, Southeastern Anatolia Project, offers a mix of fertile agricultural plains and mountainous regions. This area contains abundant rivers, natural forests, and semi-arid zones that could support large herbivores like elephants. If managed carefully, the region could provide an opportunity to restore both biodiversity and ecological health while integrating elephant populations into the landscape. Local communities, including those in Diyarbakir and Urfa, could benefit from sustainable ecotourism linked to elephant conservation. Mesopotamian marshes. While these areas are currently impacted by conflict, wars, and environmental degradation, the Mesopotamian marshes, which once supported a diverse range of wildlife, could be restored to provide suitable habitat for elephants. The marshlands are fed by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers and have historically been rich in biodiversity. With proper conservation efforts, they could potentially support rewilded populations of Asian elephants, though much work would need to be done to restore the landscape after years of destruction. The Dana Biosphere Reserve in Jordan, with its rugged landscapes, canyons, and diverse ecosystems, could be an ideal location for rewilding Asian elephants. This protected area, which is home to endangered species such as the Nubian ibex, could provide a safe space for elephants to thrive while contributing to the ecological balance. Restoration efforts could focus on improving water availability and ensuring the elephants' food sources are sustainable. The Asir Mountains in western Saudi Arabia have a mild climate and a mix of highland forests, valleys, and grasslands. Historically, the region was home to various large herbivores, and with careful ecological management, it could potentially support Asian elephants. The introduction of elephants in this area would help restore the region's biodiversity and offer a unique opportunity to showcase rewilding efforts in one of the most biodiverse regions of the Arabian Peninsula. The Jebel Akhdar Mountains in Oman are another potential location for elephant rewilding. This area is home to a variety of habitats, including forests, plateaus, and rocky terrains, which could support the reintroduction of elephants. Its proximity to the Arabian Oryx Sanctuary and other protected areas would help establish an ecological corridor for elephants to roam freely and contribute to the broader conservation goals of the region. The Shuf Mountains Nature Reserve, located in southern Lebanon, is a critical area for biodiversity. It is home to the Lebanese cedar forests and a variety of wildlife, including the Syrian brown bear and the wild boar. Reintroducing Asian elephants here could have ecological benefits, such as forest regeneration and the rebalancing of natural herbivores. As part of Lebanon's broader conservation efforts, this area could serve as a pilot project for the rewilding of large herbivores. Israel, Negev Desert. While seemingly arid, the Negev Desert in southern Israel has experienced substantial ecological recovery in recent years, thanks to conservation projects. The landscape includes riverbeds, desert scrublands, and rocky hills, which can support species like the Nubian ibex and onagers, wild asses, camels, Arabian oryx, Caucasus gazelles, striped hyenas, golden jackals, wolves, and the rare Arabian leopards. The Negev Desert's ability to host large herbivores could make it an innovative site for rewilding Asian elephants, which historically ranged in similar climates in the Middle East. Careful management of water resources and the desert's fragile ecosystems would be crucial. The Golan Heights, located in the northeast of Israel near the border with Syria, offers a unique mix of volcanic plateaus, wetlands, and forested areas. It is already home to wildlife such as deer, gazelles, feral cattle, ibex, wild boars, striped hyenas, jackals, wolves, a variety of bird species, and the possibility of a population of Persian leopards that still survives. The Golan Heights has been the subject of significant conservation projects due to its unique geography and its role as a migration corridor for wildlife. Given the region's biodiversity and varied landscape, it could be an ideal candidate for rewilding efforts that involve Asian elephants. The presence of elephants would contribute to the regeneration of grasslands, improve the health of local forests, and enhance the water cycle in the region. Additionally, the Golan Heights could help create a broader ecological corridor across the Middle East, connecting wildlife populations and supporting long-term biodiversity. Mount Carmel, situated in northern Israel, is a large mountain range with a rich ecosystem that includes forests, Mediterranean scrublands, and rocky cliffs. It has already been home to various species, such as wild goats and Persian fallow deer, and is managed by the Israel Nature and Parks Authority. The forested slopes and valleys of Mount Carmel could potentially serve as a natural refuge for reintroduced Asian elephants. This area could provide a diverse habitat for elephants, as it offers both forests for shade and open areas for foraging. Additionally, Mount Carmel has a strong cultural and historical significance, which could encourage local communities and tourists to engage with and support conservation efforts. The Judean Hills, running from Jerusalem to the Dead Sea, are an area of Mediterranean vegetation, hills, and rocky terrain. Historically, this region was home to large herbivores like wild cattle and the Syrian wild ass. Today, it is largely a mix of agricultural lands, forests, and nature reserves. With the right conservation efforts and management practices, these hills could host a small population of Asian elephants. Rewilding elephants in this area would not only help with restoring natural vegetation, but also reintroduce large herbivores that can play a critical role in maintaining the health of the ecosystem by controlling shrub and tree growth, promoting biodiversity, and enhancing the land's resilience to climate change. The Caucasus is a mountainous area between the Black and Caspian Seas, encompassing parts of Russia, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. This region has a diverse range of ecosystems, from alpine meadows to temperate forests. The Caucasus Mountains, particularly in the southern regions of Russia, such as the Republic of Adygea, Kabardino-Balkaria, and Karachay-Cherkessia, have forests, meadows, and valleys that could support Asian elephants. These regions have a variety of habitats, including alpine grasslands and broadleaf forests, which could offer the necessary resources for elephants. The establishment of protected areas and wildlife corridors would be critical to ensure the success of rewilding efforts. The Lesser Caucasus Mountains, which lie in central Georgia, have forests and valleys that could offer suitable habitats for elephants. With an emphasis on conservation and ecological restoration, Georgia could play an important role in the rewilding efforts of Asian elephants. The proximity to established protected areas and wildlife reserves could help in managing the reintroduced populations. Dilijan National Park in Armenia is a protected area known for its lush forests, rivers, and picturesque landscapes. The park has a rich diversity of wildlife, and elephants could thrive in the forested areas, benefiting from the park's abundant natural resources. Reintroducing elephants here would not only enhance the biodiversity of the park, but also help in ecological restoration efforts by supporting forest regeneration and maintaining the park's ecosystem health. Armenia's Khosrov Forest Reserve, a protected area located in the southeast of the country, contains a variety of ecosystems, including forests, grasslands, and wetlands. The reserve could be a suitable candidate for Asian elephant rewilding efforts, with proper planning for habitat restoration and elephant management. The Khosrov Reserve is already home to several important species, and adding elephants to this protected area could contribute to both conservation and ecotourism. Azerbaijan Gobustan National Park. Gobustan National Park, located near the Caspian Sea in Azerbaijan, is known for its unique geological features, mud volcanoes, and diverse ecosystems. The park's semi-arid landscape could potentially be rewilded to support Asian elephants, as it offers a mix of grasslands and river valleys where elephants could find food and water. The park is already a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the reintroduction of elephants could be part of a broader conservation initiative in the region.
Rewilding Asian elephants in Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus presents an exciting opportunity for ecosystem restoration, where these elephants can interact with other species such as deer, gazelles, more wildlife. The presence of elephants can play a crucial role in shaping the ecological balance, while these species can offer important dynamics for a thriving, diverse ecosystem. Asian elephants are large herbivores with a broad diet, which includes grasses, leaves, and fruits. Deer species typically feed on grass and shrubs. The introduction of elephants may lead to some competition for resources, but elephants can also create diverse foraging opportunities. Their movements and feeding behavior can open up new habitats for deer by uprooting trees, clearing dense vegetation, and creating clearings that allow more sunlight to reach the forest floor. Elephants' browsing habits can help maintain and create open spaces that are beneficial to smaller herbivores like deer, which thrive in open or semi-open landscapes. Gazelles prefer open grasslands and lightly wooded areas. By clearing dense brush and trampling down overgrown areas, elephants may create more open landscapes that are ideal for gazelles to graze. The elephant's movement across the landscape can enhance the biological diversity of the area, increasing food availability for gazelles. Gazelles and elephants share similar habitats, and elephants can help in seed dispersal. While they feed on plants, their dung acts as a medium for seeds to germinate. The gazelles can feed on the plants that grow from those seeds, helping to maintain plant diversity. The Arabian oryx, a desert-dwelling species, thrives in open, sparse habitats with minimal tree cover. Elephants, through their foraging and tree-felling habits, could create more open grasslands and savanna-like environments, which could benefit the oryx by reducing dense brush and creating the open spaces they prefer. Elephants are known to dig water holes or alter water sources, which can be beneficial for the Arabian oryx and other desert species that rely on water for survival. Both species would benefit from shared access to these water sources, and elephants' presence could improve the overall availability of water in dry regions. While both species are herbivores, their diets differ. Elephants may prefer larger shrubs, tree leaves, and fruits, while oryx primarily graze on grasses. There may be some resource overlap, but with proper land management, they could coexist peacefully without significant competition for food. Saiga antelopes thrive in grasslands and steppes, often in more arid areas. Elephants could help maintain and create open spaces in these habitats by uprooting shrubs and clearing vegetation, allowing more grasses to grow for the saiga. Both species could coexist on shared grazing grounds, with elephants helping to shape the landscape to better suit the saiga's needs. The elephant's movements could make grasslands more sustainable, with periodic disturbances that encourage new plant growth. Wild boars are opportunistic feeders and benefit from disturbed soil that exposes insects, roots, and tubers. Elephants can help by creating disturbances in the ground, making it easier for wild boars to find food. Elephants trampling and wallowing can create mud pits that wild boars use for cooling off and foraging. Boars and elephants can share space in areas where trees are cleared, and the forest structure is modified to accommodate both large herbivores and omnivores. Wild horses, like the Przewalski's horse, live in grasslands and are often grazers. Elephants, through their foraging behavior, can help maintain and even improve grassland habitats. Their activities can lead to the creation of open landscapes, allowing grasslands to thrive and supporting large populations of herbivores. Elephants can create water holes and mud pits, which wild horses and other species can use to drink or cool off, enhancing their access to resources. Wild asses, especially the onager, prefer dry, arid grasslands and steppe. Elephants could potentially help maintain or restore these grasslands through their foraging activities. However, they might need some careful management, as elephants also need a considerable amount of water and might deplete resources for wild asses if water is scarce. Wild asses and elephants could potentially have overlapping ranges in some rewilding areas, with elephants creating better grasslands and water sources for wild asses through their natural behaviors. Camels, particularly the dromedary, can thrive in hot, arid environments, while elephants need more water. However, the two could coexist if resources are plentiful. Elephants can help in maintaining vegetation that provides shade and grazing opportunities for camels. Some competition might arise over limited water sources or grazing areas, but with careful management and planning, their coexistence is possible. Both elephants and wild and feral cattle play roles as keystone herbivores in their ecosystems. Elephants can trample down and clear forests, which could open up more grassland habitats for wild cattle. Wild cattle can benefit from the grazing opportunities in open areas, while elephants benefit from the diversity of plant species that grow after disturbances. Different grazing preferences of elephants and wild cattle could complement each other in maintaining healthy ecosystems. Wild cattle prefer browsing or grazing on different vegetation types compared to elephants, leading to a balance of species diversity. Both elephants and water buffalo are attracted to water bodies, and their interaction around these resources can be beneficial for both species. Elephants can create water holes and mud baths, which water buffaloes will use to wallow and cool down, maintaining a healthy relationship with their environment. Both species graze on vegetation, but they prefer different types of plants. Their different dietary needs could reduce competition for resources. European bison and elephants can coexist in larger, more diverse habitats such as woodlands and grasslands. While bison tend to prefer forest edges and open areas with grasses, elephants can disturb the landscape by uprooting trees and creating clearings, which would encourage fresh plant growth, benefiting both species. The combined presence of bison and elephants could help maintain the biodiversity of an area by creating different habitats through their different behaviors, such as bison grazing and elephants uprooting trees, maintaining a varied landscape. The Hamadryas baboon is typically found in savannas and rocky hill areas. Elephants could help by creating open areas that are suitable for the baboons, and they could also benefit from the fruit and seeds dropped by elephants as they forage and move through the landscape. Elephants can also help clear dense forest areas, making these spaces more accessible to baboons and other primates. While elephants and baboons do not share the same diet, their interaction can create a form of mutual benefit. Elephants might disturb trees, dropping fruit that baboons feed on. The baboons could also help keep elephant calves and young animals safe from predators by alerting them to danger. Otters typically live near freshwater rivers, lakes, and wetlands. Elephants can help reshape riverbanks by digging water holes, creating mud wallows, and disrupting dense vegetation, which could enhance the quality of otter habitats by ensuring that rivers stay clean and have open access to food resources. The mud pits elephants create when wallowing could also benefit otters, who use similar mud and water habitats. Both species might share these areas for cooling off and bathing. Elephants, through their foraging behavior and trampling activities, can disturb the soil, uncovering insects, roots, and small mammals, which benefits species like hedgehogs, voles, and mice that feed on these resources. Small mammals could benefit from the open, disturbed grounds that elephants create by trampling and uprooting vegetation. These small mammals can use disturbed areas for nesting and burrowing, increasing their chances of survival. Elephants can help create open spaces by clearing forests and grasslands, which can benefit ground nesting birds like bustards and partridges by providing them with suitable nesting grounds. Their disturbance of the land can also lead to an increase in insect populations, which benefits insectivorous birds like sparrows and swallows. Birds of prey, such as hawks and eagles, can benefit from the increased rodent and small mammal populations caused by elephants' movements. These raptors can use open areas created by elephants for hunting and nesting. As elephants feed on fruits and plants, they help disperse seeds in their dung, which can contribute to vegetation growth that supports various bird species, including frugivorous species.
Wolves are apex predators and typically target small to medium-sized prey like ungulates, wild boar, gazelles, etc. But they generally avoid large herbivores like elephants due to their size. Elephants' large size makes them difficult for wolves to hunt. However, wolves may scavenge on elephant carcasses, feeding on the remains after death. This provides a valuable food source for wolf packs. Elephants' large herds may impact the territories of wolves. Their movement through forests, savannas, and grasslands could disrupt the hunting grounds of wolves, as elephants clear vegetation and alter the landscape. However, their size and power also act as a deterrent, meaning wolves may steer clear of elephant groups. The competition for space and food could create territorial tensions, especially with smaller packs of wolves. Wolves may indirectly benefit from elephants by scavenging on elephant carcasses or using elephant-created clearings for hunting smaller prey, such as rodents or smaller mammals that elephants disturb while foraging. Feral dogs might compete with wolves for similar prey, and their predation pressure could increase if they target smaller herbivores that share the same habitats as elephants. However, elephants' movements could lead to the disruption of smaller predators like feral dogs by creating open habitats where food sources are less dense, pushing feral dog populations into more marginal areas. Feral dogs may scavenge elephant carcasses, much like wolves, though their smaller size and less organized hunting strategies make them more reliant on opportunistic feeding from larger predators or carcasses. Feral dogs could also pose a threat to young elephant calves if there are large, disorganized packs that attack weakened or sick individuals. However, elephants are likely to be able to defend their young against such threats. Like feral dogs, golden jackals are opportunistic feeders and can thrive in the same habitats as elephants. The landscape alteration caused by elephants, uprooting trees, trampling dense vegetation, digging for water, could create new niches for jackals, giving them easier access to prey like small mammals, birds, or even fruits. There is minimal direct competition, as jackals mainly hunt smaller prey, and elephants feed on large plants and trees. However, jackals might benefit from the food made available by the disturbance of elephant activity, such as carcasses and scattered food scraps. Golden jackals are highly adaptable and may adjust their hunting territory and patterns to follow the movements of elephants, especially in the areas where elephants create disturbance or expose underground prey such as rodents. Siberian brown bears are omnivores, feeding on both plants and animals. The presence of elephants could affect forest structure by trampling and uprooting trees, thus altering the bear's habitat. The elephants may clear underbrush, which might reduce the availability of berries, plants, or smaller mammals for bears. But it could also encourage the growth of new vegetation, such as grasses and shrubs, that might benefit bear populations. Bears could scavenge elephant carcasses, benefiting from the high protein content of elephant remains. Additionally, bear species that consume fruits or roots might benefit indirectly from the disturbance caused by elephants, which can expose food sources. There is generally no direct conflict between elephants and brown bears. However, bear populations in areas where elephants are reintroduced might need to adjust their territorial range due to the presence of elephants, which may dominate certain areas and resources. The Eurasian brown bear is an omnivore and will scavenge elephant carcasses, much like Siberian brown bears. In some regions, these bears might have competition for food sources with elephants, especially when both are using the same habitats for foraging. However, elephants, being much larger, will generally have the upper hand and could displace smaller bear populations from certain areas. As Eurasian brown bears tend to prefer more forested, mountainous areas, elephants could play a role in clearing these habitats, changing the structure of the forest and potentially forcing bears to move to more isolated or marginal regions. However, in more open landscapes such as the Caucasus, both species could find ways to coexist with minimal overlap. In terms of ecological processes, bears may benefit from the vegetation changes brought about by elephants, with new plant growth supporting both species' diets. Furthermore, the presence of elephants could enhance food security for bears by increasing food diversity. Striped hyenas are primarily scavengers, often feeding on carrion, and may be opportunistic hunters. In areas where elephants roam, striped hyenas may benefit from the carcasses of dead elephants or from smaller animals that elephants may disturb while foraging. Striped hyenas would generally avoid direct confrontation with elephants due to their size. However, they could compete indirectly for smaller prey, such as wild boar, gazelles, or small mammals, particularly if their territories overlap. Hyenas would benefit from elephant carcasses, feeding on the remains of deceased elephants or elephants that have died due to natural causes. The bones of elephants could also be important for hyenas, as they often scavenge bones for nutrients. Eurasian lynx are solitary and stealthy predators, mostly targeting smaller mammals like roe deer, hares, or wild boar. The presence of elephants would likely disrupt the typical hunting environment for lynx, as elephants are large and create more open spaces by clearing vegetation. Elephants' ability to clear dense undergrowth may actually benefit lynx by providing them with more open terrain to hunt for smaller prey. The movement of elephants through forests could push other prey species into areas where lynx hunt, indirectly benefiting lynx populations. There would be minimal direct conflict, as lynx are unlikely to prey on or directly compete with elephants. However, lynx may be displaced from certain territories or areas where elephant herds are active. Persian leopards, as apex predators in their range, typically hunt large ungulates such as deer, wild boar, and smaller animals. Although they would avoid attacking elephants, they could benefit from the disturbance caused by elephants, as the latter's foraging activities could displace or expose prey like roe deer or wild boar. Persian leopards may scavenge from elephant carcasses if the opportunity arises. Like other large predators, they would be opportunistic, taking advantage of the remains of an elephant or other large animals that elephants may push into the open. Persian leopards could potentially alter their hunting behavior, moving into areas affected by elephant herds. They may change their hunting territories to avoid competition and allow for easier access to prey. Arabian leopards are smaller than their Persian cousins and are often found in rocky and rugged landscapes. They are primarily opportunistic carnivores, hunting smaller mammals like gazelles, hares, and rodents. The introduction of elephants could impact their habitat and prey availability. Arabian leopards may face indirect competition with elephants for habitat, as elephants could alter the vegetation structure in the region by uprooting trees or trampling vegetation. However, since Arabian leopards hunt smaller prey, the impact might not be severe unless food sources become scarce. Like other large carnivores, Arabian leopards may take advantage of elephant carcasses, particularly in areas where elephants die naturally or in conflict situations. Snow leopards are found in mountainous regions, and while they typically prey on smaller animals like marmots, goats, and sheep, their interaction with elephants would be minimal in direct predation. Snow leopards are avoidant of larger animals like elephants due to the size difference. The habitat changes brought on by elephants could affect snow leopard habitats in the Himalayas or surrounding areas, as elephants create more open spaces that could potentially alter the snow leopard's usual hunting grounds. However, snow leopards might also benefit from the clearings created by elephants if the disturbance attracts smaller prey. Snow leopards could scavenge from elephant carcasses, especially when they die from natural causes. The Asiatic cheetah, with fewer than 50 individuals remaining in Iran, relies on open plains and hunts mainly gazelles and small antelopes. If elephants help restore grassland ecosystems by reducing forest cover, it could benefit cheetahs by increasing gazelle numbers. Cheetahs are too small to hunt elephants, and they focus on fast-moving prey. Since they avoid large animals, their direct interactions with elephants would be minimal. Asiatic lions are apex predators in their natural habitats, and the rewilding of this species could lead to interesting interactions with elephants. Lions are unlikely to pose a threat to adult elephants, but may hunt smaller, younger elephants or other herbivores that coexist with elephants, such as wild boar or deer. Lions could benefit from the presence of elephants by hunting smaller prey species disturbed by the elephants. Young or sick elephants may become more vulnerable to lion predation if the two species occupy overlapping territories. Asiatic lions may compete for territory and resources with elephants, especially in regions with limited resources. Lions could be forced to adapt to coexist with large herbivores or find new areas to hunt. Siberian tigers are soon to be released in Kazakhstan. Siberian tigers are apex predators with their strength and ability to take down large prey like wild boar, deer, and even bears, may not directly hunt adult elephants, but could target young calves or weakened individuals if the opportunity arises. Tigers are solitary predators, and their interactions with elephants would likely be indirect, primarily involving scavenging on elephant carcasses. Tigers and elephants may coexist without much direct conflict, with elephants shaping the landscape and providing food for tigers in the form of carcasses or smaller prey. However, both species will need significant territories to avoid competing for space and resources. The presence of both species in regions like Kazakhstan could help create a balanced, dynamic ecosystem. Spotted hyenas, being highly social and powerful carnivores, could potentially pose a threat to young or weak elephants, especially if they are part of a large pack. However, adult elephants would be too powerful for hyenas to attack directly. Like striped hyenas, spotted hyenas would likely benefit from the scavenging opportunities created by elephants, especially elephant carcasses. Both species may occupy overlapping territories, but hyenas may avoid direct conflict with elephants, instead focusing on smaller prey and scavenging. However, habitat changes caused by elephants may create new niches for hyenas to adapt to, potentially benefiting them by disrupting vegetation or providing easier access to smaller prey. Like with striped hyenas, spotted hyenas and elephants can coexist, with hyenas primarily relying on scavenging elephant carcasses and avoiding direct confrontations. The rewilding of Asian elephants in Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus is a bold and ambitious project aimed at restoring natural ecosystems and biodiversity in regions where these elephants once roamed. Historically, these areas hosted populations of Asian elephants, but over time, habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, and climate change led to their extinction in these regions. Reintroducing Asian elephants to these areas could provide multiple ecological benefits. As keystone species, elephants help maintain the structure of their environments by creating waterholes, dispersing seeds, and managing vegetation. This would significantly impact the restoration of forests, grasslands, and wetlands, and contribute to biodiversity by supporting a variety of other species. However, this process faces challenges. The interactions between elephants and other wildlife, such as wolves, bears, and big cats, must be carefully managed to ensure ecological balance. Furthermore, successful rewilding depends on creating safe corridors and habitats, reducing human-elephant conflict, and ensuring community involvement. While there is no widespread official rewilding project currently in place in these regions, the idea is gaining traction. Some conservation organizations and governments are exploring options for reintroducing Asian elephants into their historic ranges. The presence of species like the Siberian tiger in Kazakhstan and the growing interest in rewilding efforts for other species in these regions offers hope that this initiative could one day become a reality. The future of rewilding Asian elephants in Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus holds great potential. If done correctly, it could restore vital ecosystems, create new opportunities for biodiversity, and foster peaceful coexistence between humans and wildlife. However, successful rewilding will require careful planning, collaboration with local communities, and long-term commitment to conservation goals. With continued interest and innovation, we could see a future where elephants once again roam freely in these ancient landscapes, contributing to a healthier planet for all. Thank you so much for watching this video on the rewilding of Asian elephants in Central Asia, West Asia, and the Caucasus. The idea of bringing these magnificent creatures back to their ancestral ranges and how they could interact with a diverse range of species, from predators like leopards and tigers to grazers like wild horses and deer, is truly fascinating. Not only does it offer hope for biodiversity restoration, but it also highlights the importance of working together with nature to achieve peaceful coexistence for both humans and wildlife. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content on rewilding, conservation, and wildlife, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tap the bell icon so you never miss an update on these amazing conservation stories. Want to support the channel? If you found this video valuable, you can use the super thanks button below. Your support helps me continue creating content and bringing you more incredible wildlife stories. Every contribution truly makes a difference. Let us know in the comments what you think about rewilding projects and how we can better coexist with these incredible creatures. Do you believe humans and elephants can live in harmony? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay connected, stay curious, and as always, keep supporting wildlife conservation.